Hi, Callie here with training number 3, Builder Launch, and we are discussing teaching, presenting, and closing an event or a class or a workshop. So we'll just dive right into it. So preparing for your event. This is important to have an idea of a date, a time, and a place where you're going to have your event. Is it going to be live in person or is it going to be online? So this is where you need to make your decision to do this. And you can do this in a few different ways. So what is it that you love about the oils? What topic is it? Is it pets and oils? Is it kids and oils? Is it hormones, women's health, men's health, etc.? You kind of get what I'm talking about here. Low tox, cleaning, etc. So that just kind of having that in mind, and I'm going to give you a couple ideas here for class topics. Definitely branding this to you and realizing that you are not just teaching any other, let's say, okay, how do I want to say this? It's not a party. So how other network marketing or companies that perhaps sell like jewelry or, Tupperware, something like that, they're called them parties. Remember that doTERRA is an education company. So we are teaching like a class. So your class could be an intros to oils class, a 101, a focus topic class, like a 102. So, focusing on your pets and essential oils, cleaning your house. Those are kind of considered a 102 class. Another name that you could use is a workshop, blending bar, and that could be like a make and take type thing, or where you have them make a roller ball, you have a recipe out. I've done one where I put oils out for different ailments or different things, and then they combine what oils they're drawn to, and then I help them make a roller ball. That one's been pretty fun, pretty great response. It could be called a master class, a make and take in your niche. Remember, we discussed that in our first training. Hands-on classes, like a low tox living, maybe the spa line, pampering party, or not party, but event. Also a retreat, wellness weekend, a day full of different education. So partner up with somebody in your niche or that can add value in that day. So, the possibilities are endless with that. Partner with other experts that will get you in front of your ideal client, maybe a yoga instructor. I've done a yoga and golf, and I had a physical therapist who teaches yoga. She taught the portion, I taught about the oils, and then we used the oils in preparation for our yoga practice, and she showed us different yoga stretches to prepare the body for the golf season. It was really fun. Also, essential oil studies or an oil experience, which I'll discuss just in a little bit there. So in the ebook that you have, there is a list of space there where you can jot down some ideas that you might have. Okay, so preparing for your event. This is very important, is to get your inviting and marketing done in a powerful way. So recommendations on your invitation is make it feel exclusive. So please avoid just a general Facebook invite unless you already have a very large following, that your following is really responsive to you. So more type of an influencer, I think that works, but for a lot of people that doesn't work. And I don't know, I've been mass invited to different parties on Facebook and different events that I don't even connect with the people. I'm just part of their friends list, so I'm just being put in that automatic invitation. So this is really crucial, is stand out a little bit, make a personal invitation to somebody. That is going to get you a lot further than just broadcasting it and not even going directly to your ideal client, to the people that you're wanting to serve, the people that are looking for your message. So keep that in mind. Let's see here. Let's see. I apologize. I have the ebook kind of small here. Just want to make sure I get all the points. So some different personalized invitations could be a phone call, a text. Don't do a group text. Like you could create what you want, your invitation in your notes, and then copy and paste it, change the name, etc. You get my idea. You could send a private message, private Facebook group. You could, but I would still send them a personal invitation to your private Facebook group. You could be hosting your class in there. Email, postcard, etc. You get the idea. Let's see, again, targeting your ideal client. So marketing online. So if you have your social media influence, if you're working that angle, you're working to build that up, which I still encourage you, even if you don't have a massive following, even if you have 100 to 500 people, that is still a great start, but you want to repeat your message so you can start to sound like a broken record. It takes people quite a few times to see it. Remember how much we're consuming on social media, from our email, all that stuff throughout the day. We are bombarded with information. So it is okay to repeat it. Pick 5 target areas in your class that you're going to be addressing and kind of focus on those areas. And those should be ideal pain points for your client, your target market. Market your event in a way that you personally would actually want to go. So don't just be throwing something together and just being like, I wouldn't even go to that. So I think that's a great intention to start having. Is this something that I would participate in? Is this something I would show up and give up my personal time for? Let's see. Also, like posting on your social media too. Would you follow you? Like just kind of relating that. And I think really start coming from that area, that space, because remember, your typical ideal client is you from months back or years back. Another option for you is to charge for your event. And I've charged for a couple of events. So this is totally optional, what you feel good about doing, but it was brought to my attention that you may show up better when you're being compensated for your time. And so your energy is going to be very high, and your audience will feel that. So also, I think then it weeds out people that aren't truly interested, because somebody who's not truly interested is not going to pay to come to that event. So then you can also use the access fee. So, I mean, charging whatever you feel comfortable with, but don't get outrageous, obviously. But I think charging for something, and that will also change your energy if you are stuck about making an income from the doTERRA business. So you have to understand that you are offering your time, your resources, your education, and your event is worth being compensated for. Also, you are a service provider as well by educating and doing customer service to your customers, because so I guess what I want to say is that you deserve to be compensated for what you are doing. Do not shrug this off as just something you do for nothing and just free information. I've gotten to a point with people would ask me skincare questions. They weren't a customer at the time when I had my skincare business, and I would give them the information. And I feel like if you are out and about on your free time, you're not at work, and people start asking you those questions, they are kind of taking advantage of your advice, because other people pay you for that, right? So I put a value even on my wellness consults, which we'll dive into in the next training, as a $55 value, because it's 30 minutes and I feel like I should be compensated to about $110 an hour. Like, I have spent the last 5 years educating myself on the oils and the products and trial and error and using them and investment in products. You deserve to be compensated. Please understand your value, and what you are offering can change people's lives. And it's just by you opening your mouth and spreading the word. So just understand your value in this business. And that's where I think we kind of get stuck between a hobby and making like hobby money, and then like residual income replacing money. You get what I'm saying? So I don't see any, whatever you're comfortable with, but why not compensate? You could run it through Eventbrite, charge $5, charge $15, charge $20, and then you can use that to leverage back a reimbursement if they enroll or get started with you that night. Another idea would be partner with a local or online company to create a workshop together. Some places to get the word out. You could, if you want to post in public places, I just mentioned Eventbrite is great too. Make it public. Why not? Put yourself out there. If people don't know what you do, how do they know to come to you? So it's okay to let people know what you do. There is no shame in your game doing that. Facebook, local coffee shops, daycares, gyms, schools, use your best judgment where your ideal client would be hanging out. So diving into what you will be teaching on, you definitely want to practice your classes. And I highly suggest starting with an intro class in the very beginning, a 101, and knowing that, because it's going to educate you, which I'm going to talk that class flow, but it's going to educate you on everything that your ideal client needs to know about oils and how to get them in their home. But I also don't want you to feel like you have to know everything before you get started. You need to just get started, because you will learn as you go and as you start to develop your craft. Like, this truly is a craft. It becomes unique to you, and it is a crucial part of this business, is delivering this message. So also practice your close, which we'll go over that. I'll give you some scriptage. So closing can be the hardest part. It can be the scariest part. So anyway, I'm giving you some resources and some things to get yourself started. Just please don't feel like you have to wait for your upline, myself, or anybody else to get started. This ultimately is your business. It is dependent upon you. It is great if you have an involved upline to help support you, but not everybody has that. And there are people that have been successful in doTERRA that got started without an upline. So the one thing, and I'm going to say again, is that you should be grateful to your upline that they introduced the oils to you. And that's all, that they did their job. So, okay, the next thing you need to do after you're preparing for your event is to make contact with your attendees. So will you sample them before the class? So this is an optional thing. I don't want you to feel like you cannot invite somebody to a class until they have been sampled. There is like daily mentor calls, which I reference in here. That is another great resource to go and check out her flow of inviting people. She samples, and then once they've had a great experience, then invites them to a class. Please do not get stuck on that. This is how you have to do this business, because people will enroll whether they've been sampled or not. Not all, but you get what I'm saying, that you have a class tomorrow, you meet somebody today, and or, oh my gosh, I thought of her, she wants to come to my class, or they reach out to you. You don't have time unless they live in your area that you can run a sample over. But you should just teach. If they want to come and learn, they can come and learn. There's no like prerequisites to come to a class. So don't get hung up on that. In your online event, you could be also offering a freebie, like maybe an ebook. I know One Drop Design has a masterclass that they're called, it's like an intro to the oils, and it has an ebook that you can send out. And it's, so I've attached that in here, the One Drop and the resources, so you can just go and explore and get ideas from there. Let's see, so you need to decide, do they get the ebook or freebie or freemium before the event, or do they get it after they attend the event? No right or wrong. I would say play with that and see what works best for you. Remind your attendees 48 hours before the event. I've given you just some scriptage in there. I like to say, just wanted to give you a friendly reminder for the class that's happening on Friday. I'm so excited to share with you, this could be like, as your target market, a mom with kids. Can't wait to show you what oils you can use with your littles, etc. You can also invite them to bring a friend at that time if you'd like. Feel free to bring a friend with you if you want. And then again, remind 1 to 2 hours prior to the event. So shoot out a text. In the in-person class, you could tell them where to park. That's another great way. Hey, just wanted to remind you that you can park here. Just another little touch to them. I'm so excited to see you, please. And this is another time you could offer them to feel free to bring a friend with you. I'll give you an extra raffle ticket for bringing a friend, and we'll discuss that here in just a second. Again, let them know that you're excited to see them. So at the event, you want to create an atmosphere that is great for learning. So it's clean, it's quiet, it's free of children interruption. There's comfortable seating, it's a comfortable temperature. So when I was putting this together, I was thinking comfortable temperature, but we're in winter, so maybe not having your heat too high or having enough heat on for them. But I was also thinking, and I've done summer things where they're outside, so just knowing if it's going to be 105 degrees and no shade, people are not going to enjoy themselves. They'll just bake. Eliminate all distractions, like I mentioned. So some items that are needed for you for your class. So I like the top 10 essential oils. I like using the actual doTERRA bottles instead of some sample vials. Do the full size. Obviously Deep Blue is a 5 ml, that I have right here. But these are important, and you share these oils. You're going to let them have an experience. So don't be like chintzy with your oils. You want them to have an excellent experience with them. You want them to try them. A diffuser is great. Class handouts and enrollment forms. Sometimes they're separate, sometimes they're together, depending on which material you decide to use. Excuse me. Resource book or an essential oil reference book. Modern Essentials, Essential Life, A to Z guides are great. Lifelong Vitality supplement bottles. These can be empty. I just have kept a box of the Lifelong Vitality pack with the bottles in it. I like that the bottles show what the capsule actually looks like, so people have an idea. These do not have to be full bottles. I also like to just keep extra, like one of each product that I've emptied out of, like the supplements or things like that, so people can get an idea what they are. I think the turmeric capsules are great if you're teaching maybe like a sports class, to keep maybe one of the turmeric capsules in there so they can see the double capsule, or also the PB Assist, where they can actually see the double capsule in that. I think that's awesome. Pens are great. So go get yourself a pack of pens. They don't have to be anything spendy. Optional things that you could have as part of your class are like an oil carrier, oil or extra oil, excuse me, maybe some of your favorite oils, which I listed that with your top 10, roller balls, and coconut oil, so that maybe they make a roller blend for coming. You know, the options are totally up to you. I'm sorry, I've got just cannot breathe real well. Sinus stuff. So also another thing you could have is oil infused food or drinks. Food and drinks are totally optional. You obviously, I know Elise Shedeby teaches like maybe one little treat to get them to stay for the business opportunity, not to give them maybe just some water. But I'm one, I like to put snacks out. I want people I like to make my events special, but also we need to remember duplication. They don't have to be. But I like to put food out. I love to make peppermint brownies. Those are super easy. A couple drops in a box of brownie mix. I can make them real quick before I head out for a class or hosting one at home. So an iPad or a computer is great as well. So you can get people enrolled there. You can show them the doTERRA website, or if you need to look something up as well. And we all have phones now, but it's nice to have that as well. Other tools or resources, so other books. Just do not overwhelm people with that. Hostess or welcome gift if you're doing that. Drawing form for your raffle to gather contact info. Find a free doTERRA drawing form. I have attached the link to that. It's in the tools library under Empowered Success. And your giveaway or raffle items. So some examples of a raffle item. And I like to do the raffle and the drawing forms personally because one, it gives you contact information. And also it has an area where they list out their top 3 health concerns. And that's something that we want to try to address throughout the class. So they're very prompting. I will actually give those to people and give them a few minutes while people are still kind of filing in. Let's see, some giveaways, extra oils you have, maybe a free product of the month that you had that you already had like 2 of or something. Use what you already have. Don't feel like you have to go out and buy something. I like to you have doTERRA Spa line is great for like a hostess gift as well, or giveaways. Roller balls, a book, etc. So the next thing is you want to keep your class to 45 minutes or max 60 minutes. You will lose people's attention if you go beyond your hour. And so getting right to the point, sometimes this can be a challenge, especially if you have a talker in your class who wants to make a comment about everything you say or has a story. So it is very important to just figure out and learn how to take control of your event. Remember, this is your event or a workshop. Show up 20 to 30 minutes before the class starts. I always like to come 30 minutes personally, especially if somebody's hosting. I can get all my stuff out. And I did want to tell you that I do keep one of my doTERRA backpacks from convention. And in that, I keep my pens, drawing forms, class material, and my extra reference books that we'll discuss here in just a little bit. So that's always great and always ready to go. And then I can just grab my oils that I'm going to be using for that class. So 3 things that you want to make sure that your guests have before you start presenting. So your class handout, a drawing form, and a pen. So what I like to do is we'll just say this is my class here. I put the drawing forms like a little square piece of paper. set that on top, and I clip the pin and to hold it there. And then I just hand that out to people. So you can already have those ready to go in your backpack as well. Okay, so let's dive into the presenting part. So the opening portion of your event. So in the beginning of your doTERRA business, we talked about networking last week. So you will know a lot of your people in the beginning, but maybe your upline has come to help you teach. They don't know them. So being able to introduce yourself, introduce whoever, if somebody is helping. If somebody is helping you, you want to introduce them as the oil expert. And then you also want to set the intention for the class and then share your story. So we talked about our story in the first week, but I gave you a little space and some questions from the share guide to get your story going. So stories are the game changer. Like, stories sell people. So really getting your story, your aha kind of down. And obviously it doesn't have to be like a script that you write out, but I'm very one that, like, at this point in my business, I very just intuitively teach a class. I just trust myself now that I have the knowledge. And I don't close it the same every time. Like, the words aren't the exact same every time as what I want to say. The opening isn't always the same. I have a couple different stories I like to share, so it's not always the same story. So like, one of my stories is when I started using oils. Well, I've always been drawn to natural things. My son got sick, and I just started using the oils, and he ended up in the emergency room with croup and could not breathe. It was the scariest thing. Before I even had the paperwork filled out, they had him back in a room. It like blew my mind how fast they got him back in there. They hooked him up to everything. They could not figure out what was wrong with him. I didn't realize that how serious they took a child not being able to breathe like that. It sounds terrible that I'm saying it like that. But anyway, this kid had sinus infections, colds every year, every February, right about this time. He was sick. He was on an antibiotic. This was just like clockwork. The poor kid was born with a virus in his lungs, and ended after he was born in the NICU with a virus in his lungs. So he's always kind of prone to that. So a year later, like a full year later, no antibiotics, he ended up being okay. He's a healthy 14-year-old boy now, but he has not been on antibiotics since that time. So that's my story. So I use that for mothers. And you can see I already kind of got emotional about it because it was scary. So, but getting right to the point, like how powerful the oils are, I got right to that point. You get to that point. So developing your story, yours might not be there yet, but you'll start to see little ahas and things if you're using your products consistently. Okay. So the second part is I gave you some like script in here to use. And so I got this from Keely Martinez, and I thought it was just brilliant. I learned a lot from her training. So I've quoted her in the areas that she's helped. But obviously make this sound like you, but kind of the gist is let them know that you can talk about oils forever, but you don't want to, but make sure that you want to. So, okay, let's start over. So this is about getting their top 3 health concerns out. So they should have written them on your little drawing form if you choose to do that. So let them know you can talk about oils for hours, but you want to make sure that you are touching on the reason why they are there. So you want to know what their top 3 concerns are that they are looking to use oils for. Start with your personal pain points that had you looking to use essential oils. Then go around the room and have them tell you their top 3 reasons they are looking for a natural way to support themselves. So was it supporting your children? Was it sleep? You could just say, were you looking for more energy before you got started? I was just looking for natural alternatives. I knew I just have always been drawn to natural things, and I always kind of tried to steer clear of like natural skincare, natural this, getting the toxins out of my home. And then it's just, I've been able to do that all with doTERRA. It's incredible. And it's made it easy for me because they've taken all the guesswork out of it. So another story that you could add into to you there. Okay, so part 3, follow your class flow. So this is kind of just the basics, intros, and the couple classes I've attached in here, the essential oil or natural solutions and essential oils made easy, are off the doTERRA site. You can purchase those, you can download them. I've printed one out before the essential oils made easy. TerraPad was made available. So the basic flow is like, what are oils, how are they effective, and why doTERRA? So you want to go back to our first training when we talked about why doTERRA and really refresh yourself on that and what stands out to you. Is it the purity? Is it the co-impact sourcing? Is it healing hands, etc.? The part 4 is the 3 ways to use aromatically, topically, and internally, or we kind of always joke, this is what I learned from my uplines, is rub, sniff, or lick. So at this point, you can discuss each oil and pass the oil bottles around. Remember our full size oil bottles to be passed around. Actually demo how to do it. So like peppermint is one that is like one of the first ones. So I always put a drop in here. You could have them taste it, rub your hands together, cup your hands, breathe it in, and then wipe on the back of the neck. And guess what? They've just used the oils all 3 ways. Isn't that cool? So always mention Lifelong Vitality Pack. So that is doTERRA's #1 seller. So do some research on it. I like to talk about each of the products, and you can also state that this is the foundation. So without supplementing the body, the oils work, but they could work on a whole nother level when you're supplementing, the body's getting enough nutrition to heal itself. So the VMZ is 12 servings of fruit and veggies in that guy. So if you needed to consume your daily requirements of fruit and veggies, you would have to consume 20 pounds of raw fruit and veggies. So you'd have to like take down the whole produce thing at Fred Meyer. Highly expensive. I don't know how many people could eat 20 pounds of fruit and veggies, etc. You get what I mean here. So your body is getting enough nutrition. The omegas are an equal balance of omega-3 and omega-6 essential fatty acids. A lot of other vitamins have more 6 than 3 or more 3 than 6, and they'll actually have to be equal. We get that from doTERRA. It contains 9 essential doTERRA certified pure tested essential oils in them. You cannot purchase those anywhere else. And then the Alpha CRS is our cellular vitality complex. And that is literally like a fire hose to the inflammation internally. It helps with cellular energy. So this pack is formulated to work together. It's called bioavailable. And the bioavailability also means that the body will actually take them and absorb them. So many other vitamins are not bioavailable, and you're taking a big old horse pill and urinating most of it out. So that's a little bit kind of a general overview of how I talk about Lifelong Vitality Pack. I also will read the bullet points on the intro class about that. And then I tell a little bit of my personal experience with more energy, hair, nail growth, skin health, sleep is so much better. And I have a little story about I ran out of them, didn't have enough for a couple days before my next order came, and my sleep was terribly interrupted. It was like, didn't know what I got until it was gone type of a thing. Okay, so we also talk about part 5 at the end, how to get the oils and 3 ways to buy. So our closing kind of just goes over that. So You also, I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into this. So this is just kind of an overview of the closing. So I don't think that I really want to repeat it like 3 times. Well, you get a gift. Okay, so there's 3 ways to buy: retail, wholesale, basic starter kits. And I do have some script for this down the road, or later, just in a little bit. Gift for anybody that enrolls. Walk them through the enrollment form. Touch on the business opportunity always. Let them know you have an extra book to pass around so that they can look at specific things. You can do your raffle drawing and a brief business intro for those who want to stay for it. So that's kind of the flow of your class. So event freebies that we can talk about in person is like an A to Z guide. So this could be, you can buy a pack of 10 from like Oil Life. There's other little pocket guides, pretty inexpensive. I also suggest those for like until you are in a position where you can get a couple different resource books, like the bigger books. The A to Z guides are like perfect, and you can put for class on them so that you're not having to, like, they're not being taken. You always just have an easy transportable way, like super easy to transport. Some of the big books get kind of heavy. Class handout, product price list. So that like the class handout that they can take home, price list can be printed off or purchased. A picture of all the kits they can take, enrollment form that they will get back to you. This is totally option, but I really like having an incentive to enroll with you specifically. So this is optional. It can actually inspire people to make the final decision to opt in. And during your class, make these they can only get this gift if they get started with you that night. A welcome gift bag, grab bag of oils, or a custom blend. Those could be just different options that you have. Welcome gift bag ideas. So this is something that I like to do for my new enrollments. You can get a cute little bag from Target and in the dollar section area. And I like to, so you can get them from like $1 or $3. So whenever they have like cute ones, I always pick up a handful of them. And you can put samples I love to put samples from doTERRA in there. So you get a deep blue rub, a toothpaste sample, shampoo and conditioner sample, an On Guard Breathe and Ginger Drop, a Slim and Sassy gum. I do a welcome card that I had made with each of the products and what they are. And on the back, it actually has my phone number. So I eliminated like the business card part of that. And then you can put a business card in there, etc. A to Z guide or a pocket reference guide. So I love to do a little A to Z guide in there. I usually don't the only people that really go home with anything other than the class handout are the people that enroll with me. And sometimes, so they'll either like get to take that bag home. If it's somebody that's enrolled and hasn't been in a class, I will do that little bag with the live guide that we'll talk about next in the next training. All right, so try to keep it about 30 minutes at that point. Items to bring: class handout, enrollment form, oil reference book. Oh, excuse me. This is for a one-on-one. So that's kind of the gist of like an in-person workshop or class. Let's move on to a one-on-one. So that's where you have a meeting with just a person with you one-on-one. This can be in person or online. I love to meet with somebody at like a coffee shop. You can buy them a coffee, just make, a nice little treat for them. Items that you need: class handout, an enrollment form, oil reference book, and your oils, iPad or laptop. And this also, the reason for the iPad or laptop, and I'll get discussed down in the closing part, is that you could actually, if you have time, give them a brief overview of the doTERRA website. The first part, you want to know what they're looking into oils for. So their pain points. They're going to tell you, you want to address this. Now, remember, this is about them, and everybody is so consumed with themselves. Like, it's just fact. And don't be ashamed, but everybody's like, what's in it for them, right? So really tailoring this to specifically them. And that's what one-on-ones are great. And you might find that you're a little bit more powerful with those because you're genuinely connecting with that person. You're being able to help them with their issue, etc. Then you can ask them what they know about oils. If they know anything, are they brand new? And then that will tell you how much depth you need to go into with your overview of what oils are, why doTERRA, how they're effective, etc. And then the 3 ways to use, you can explain during this portion where you can sit down and you can get into a reference guide with them and look up their specific elements, because then you're teaching them how to be resourceful and look in the book. Because remember, we are not oil experts. We want people to be empowered and to use the tools to find answers on their own. You don't want to, sure, it's great to serve your customers, but you don't want to be on speed dial for every little thing, right? You want to teach them how to use the book. So then you can dive into your starter kits, and then you want to correlate back to what their needs are. You want to give them 2 options of kits and then let them choose which one fits them best. So do this genuinely. Don't just be picking the Natural Solutions kit if they're not even ready to try the supplements. And then afterwards, you can ask them if they want to think about having a little workshop where you come when she gets their oils. She can invite some of her friends and you can show her how to use them, and you can teach like a little mini class. So that's another great way to get them to host and see the power of sharing. And then if you do have time, you can take them through their little membership overview or wellness consult welcome call. Okay, so your online event, your class flow is pretty well identical to the in-person workshop. Get them to interact with you in the chat box. So when they log in, you can tell them, hey, text me that you're here. That's a great way, your name. And you can text, like, here's my phone number, text me that you're here. And then you get their contact information that way, especially if it's somebody that you don't know, and maybe it's something you've promoted online, you don't have their contact info. Again, ask them their top 3 health concerns, get them to put them in the box. Make note of those so that you circle back and address those. Social media ways to have an event. Essential oil studies. So we've done those. Those can be any length of days that you like, 5 to 10. I've found 5 to 7 being like perfect. 10 can be a little bit long. You start to lose people towards the end of it, especially like when you cross over a weekend and then it's like a Monday, Tuesday or something. So this is really, they're really fun. So there's 4 different areas of focus mainly, and you can learn more about oil studies from Daily Mentor Call number 34. I'm not going to go super deep into them. But what it is, you put a Facebook group together, you sample the participants enough for how many days of your event, and that they have to commit to using those oils daily. You run education through the Facebook daily. You have a welcome class and a closing celebration. They must attend both, like there's requirements. They're really fun. Essential oil experience is another option. You can do this as a 1-day, 2-day, or 3-day event. Samples to participants, so not as big a sample as your study. And then all day intro to oils class. So you just slowly put out your posts and go live versus recorded videos, because live videos, you get more interaction and better feed showing up in their feed better. This has to be a strong call to action for the enrollment, follow up, and then live video. Yeah, I mentioned that. So anyway, all right, let's dive into the closing. I know this is getting long. It's a lot of content, but so let's whip through the closing portion here. So it is pointless to know how to teach an amazing class if you don't actually convert people into paying customers. And that is by Kelia Martinez. I thought that was a great quote, and that is so true. Because you can educate, and educate, but if you do not give people the option to use them on a daily basis, you're failing them. So diving into your close, you address your close at the very beginning of the class when you're setting your intentions for the class. So how I like to do this is I'd be like, okay, so we're gonna, I'm gonna teach you, what oils are, why they're, why doTERRA, how to use them. And then I'm gonna show you how to get oils in your home. So I'm already kind of making the statements. So phrases like this at the end of the class, I will show you exactly how to get these oils in your home and all the education and resources that you will have full access to when you're connected into my community. So that's just kind of an idea that you're already like planting the seed so that you're not just like wrapping up your lifelong vitality part and you're wrapping up your class and then you're just like, your heart starts beating really hard. You're like, oh, I just don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Tell them how to get the oils or show them the kits. Like the closing can be the toughest part when somebody's just getting started. But if you plant the seed at the beginning, they already know it's coming. So if you, so to get started on your closing, so if you're doing the raffle portion of it, let's just assume everybody does a raffle. So I actually like to use the drawing form as part of the raffle. You could have extra raffle tickets for this part, but you bring up, this is how you kind of want to get your audience to interact with you. You bring up the, okay, remember that form? I have a raffle for you. I'm sure you're sitting there and some questions came to you. For anybody that asks me a question, I will give you an extra raffle ticket. And then let them ask questions because typically they will have questions. They just don't, remember being in school, you're embarrassed to ask, thinking, oh, I just want, she doesn't have time for this or whatever. So answer their questions the best that you can. Look it up in the book. If you do not know the answer, tell them that you will get right back to them. You don't want to just make something up. If the class is hosted, you want to make a point to thank the host for bringing you all together. And so there's a little bit of verbiage in there, and then you can present the gift that you're giving her, some hostess gifts. I like to use like a keychain. You can fill up the vials, doTERRA products, a diffuser, and oils, just depending on how many people they're getting there, how big of a customer this is to you. Like if they're getting you in front of quite a few people, compensate them for it. Like show your appreciation for them is what I'm saying. Even if it's like 2 people, you still want to appreciate them. Like, don't get me wrong, but so like the keychain option, this is a Elise Chedevy thing from the Daily Mentor Calls, is if they've decided to host a class, they get the keychain holds like 8 vials. And then for each person they invite, they get a sample of their choice. And then you would fill that up for them. Anyway, so, or if this is somebody that has opted in to do the business, they're just getting started, upline is teaching, or you're teaching it for your downline, you want to just say, she was telling me she had some incredible friends who would love these oils. And as part of our community, I came out to help her teach you all. Anyone who gets started tonight will not only be connected to her, but you will also get access to me and our community. And then regardless of hosted or not, you could say something along like these. So this is scripts, but you can totally make it your own. I'm sure as we went through the class, you thought of your friends and loved ones who could benefit from these oils. I would love to come teach a workshop for free for you. I have my calendar here and a gift for anyone who books the class with me here tonight. If you are interested in this, let's chat before you leave. And this is virtual. If you're doing it virtually, I want you to send me a text now so I can get you on my calendar. So again, if you're in an intimate setting and you want to put out your text message or your phone number so they can text you, that's a great way to do that. And then actually give them time to do it. Sit there, be quiet, and let them do that. Again, if you're giving a gift, you could do the empty keychain, and then at the class, how many people they come, you can have your oils there and fill them up, etc. Step 3, it is one thing to sit here and listen to me tell you how incredible these oils are, but the point of the event is to get oils into your hands so you can experience them daily and see a shift in your life. So this is where we go into the 3 ways to purchase. So there's retail, wholesale, and then starter kits, or below wholesale is another option that's listed. So the retail purchase is the most expensive. This is how I like to explain it. It is the most expensive way to purchase. You only pay retail in a spa setting, chiropractor's office, a high-end wellness center, etc. And then I kind of chuckle and I say, and friends don't let friends buy retail, because we're all about saving money, right? The second way is a wholesale account. So you save 25% off the retail price. You get this for the entire year. Pricing for the entire year. The wholesale membership is $35. It's similar to Costco, whether you purchase every month or every 3 months, you still get the 25% off for the entire year. Or below wholesale or a starter kit. What doTERRA has done is they've bundled up the most popular products that people generally get started with. And when they're bundled, they get a deeper discount. And then the $35 is free. So you get your wholesale membership for free with the starter kit. So you're already getting that $35 savings plus the bundled discount. And it's just it just takes all the guesswork out of getting started. And definitely the most value. So at this point, you want to walk them through the kits. And so I have scriptage in the ebook, and I'm not going to read specifically through them. So after we're discussing like the deep discounts. So starting with the Natural Solutions kit. So that's the $570 kit. And it's the biggest kit that doTERRA has right now. So it's great for somebody that wants to get started with the supplements. They get the On Guard protective line, some of the spa line, a 10-hour diffuser. This kit is for anyone who is just ready to overhaul their health in their home. And then you can jump to the Healthy Start kit, which is the smallest kit besides the 170, the Simple Solutions kit. So this is the top 10 oils. It's got the smaller bottles. And then this kit is great for someone who's just wanting to get their toes wet with oils and get more of a sample kit. We have our Healthy Habits kit for $195. So then we go back up go back up a little bit in price to kind of a mid-range, the Healthy Habits kit. So this is somebody who's wanting to overhaul their physical health. It gives the body a bit of rest with our supplement line and 5 out of our top oils. Then we have the Healthy Essentials kit. So then we go up a little bit higher to the next mid. And this kit's the most popular kit as it gives you the bigger bottles. So just kind of distinguishing the difference between the 5 ml and the 15 ml. So 15 ml has 250 drops, 5 ml has 85. So some people purchase that starter kit, the Healthy Start kit, and they go through their oils super fast. So the Healthy Essentials kit is great because the oils are bigger and the value is just better at that point. So I always try to explain the different sizes of the bottles as well. And then you can go back to that Simple Solutions kit. And this is just a great way to say, instead of paying the $35 and doing an a la carte, this is a great way to get some basic, great starter oils and the Deep Blue Rub. And then you can customize and tailor to fit your needs. So I'd rather see that $35, the free $35 be going towards oils, or your $35 be going towards oils than just paying for the $35. So if that makes sense. And then lastly, the Healthy Home kit, which actually does give you a diffuser, the top oils, top 10 oils, and is great for anyone looking to start to make more conscious choices in their home. So somebody might, like if maybe you have a low tox cleaning event, this could be like your target one. For those who are ready to get started tonight, you will get one of the welcome packet. Get one of the welcome packets that include, and then you can talk about whatever your welcome packet is. And then step 4, you want to add on this before you turn them loose. I also want to share with you the incredible resources, ebooks, and our private community. You will get full access to enrolling with me tonight, and then list out your perks. So if you're just getting started, it doesn't matter. doTERRA has ebooks that you can send out to them for enrolling. Like you could promote it, the ebook. So go check those out. And then you need to start educating and learning and doing all of that. We do have the Essential Oil Retreat VIP Facebook community. That is for my entire team. So you can plug your people in there. We get daily posts, educate in there 1 to 2 times a week. So that is definitely a great place to plug your people in if you're just getting started. And also letting them know that you are their guide through this, so that they are not on their own. They're not going to get these oils and not know how to use them. And so that just kind of helps reassure them. So there's a list of perks for them to join with you to give you some idea. Okay, so moving from that point, there are 3 types of people. So the first type is someone who wants to live naturally. So the lifestyle excites them. doTERRA has the best perk for these people through our rewards program. The second one is the one who is thinking about their friends and family the whole time that could benefit from these oils. I would love to connect with you and show you how to get your oils or products as a gift for sharing something you are totally into. Get free oils. The third person is one who looks at me and how I taught this class and thinks I could do that. I want to teach others on how to live the lifestyle and earn a residual income. If you are person 2 or 3, I want you to come and talk to me after the class. Simple enough. Okay, so just practicing these, making it your own, but that's just to give you an idea. Okay, so at this point, I want you to open up your A to Z guide. So you could even actually pass out in the beginning or have a pack there and just have them pick up an A to Z guide. And look at the health concerns that you wrote down at the beginning of the class. I want you to write out what oils are recommended for each ailment or issue that you want to focus on. Let them know that everybody can take the next few minutes, 10 minutes to dig into their guides, and let them know that you may have some other guides there as well that they could check out. And then I'm going to come around individually and we're going to find the kits that best fit your need and your budget. So you're allowing them to look up what they're looking for, finding the oils that will support it. And then as you approach them, you just ask them, okay, so what are we working on here? And then you want to help them look the ailments, pick a few of the oils, and then give them a couple different kits that fit their need the best. And then you all let them choose. There also could be oils that aren't in a kit. And so that Simple Solutions kit is a great way to get started with that. After the enrollment at the event, you also want to let them know that one of the biggest perks of enrolling with you is that they get a welcome call, and you can I like to make mine 30 minutes, a 30-minute welcome call where I just sit down with you and we open up your product. We go through it, make sure you know how to use them, make sure you know how to use your personal shopping page and to get the most benefits from your membership. You want them to book that night before they leave. So get the enrollment, get them booked at that point. I do want to say when you do after you kind of go through the kits, let me back up a little bit. On the enrollment form, you can also say, so if you're ready to get started, I just want to make sure you know how to fill this form out. Fill out the highlighted areas, because people really need that like direction. And there's Empowered Success gives some great guides on videos and things on how to wrap this up as well. So that it's plugged in there. And then just some tips. So enrolling tips, kit is always the best option. It is going to save them the most money. It is the best way to get started. I'm sorry, this is like, we're just about wrapped up here. Share what you love about the kits that you are feel are the best for them, because then maybe you're showing them some other options that they can use the specific oil for that maybe they weren't thinking. Connect their health priorities to the kits. Never prejudge somebody's budget. Enroll everyone, most everyone is a wholesale customer, unless they have expressed interest in sharing or building, then have them opt into a wellness advocate. But I still highly recommend that you enroll somebody as a wholesale customer, because you can always upgrade them, and you have 14 days to place them in your organization. We're going to dive more into this and just structuring, but you have 14 days to place them wherever you want. After those 14 days are up, they are locked there. If the person has enrolled or decides to upgrade after 90 days, they decide that they love the oils, they want to start sharing or building the business, they can upgrade, enroll somebody with a 100 PV order, and then you have the option to move them again in your structure. Yeah. So your success at enrolling people, bringing people into your community is completely based upon your belief, whether believe you can or you believe you can't. Either way, you are right. So thanks for hanging with me. I know this one was kind of long. I appreciate you. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to myself. And the next training will be diving into the welcome call and taking care of your community. So we'll catch you then. Thanks.